What is going on, good people? We here at the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast are back at it again with another Okay, maybe not a wrestling video, but another football video of the NFL picks and whatnot. Week, what is this? 15? Man,
I think we should just change the name of the show to the football podcast with a little bit of wrestling.
the football, the football podcast with a smidget, just a little smidget of wrestling.
Hey,
Um,
hey DJ, you want to share with the world what you
no,
saw?
I don't. But anyway, I want to repress every memory of that in my life. But anyway, um, let's talk about the NFL over the past week. Casey, it's just DJ and Casey tonight. Casey, I just got a question for you.
Yeah.
Um, how was you feeling about the week 14s though? Like, was there any surprises out there? Was there anything that you was like, oh my goodness? Was I think the coach was on a bye, so you could relax a little bit, which was nice. What was the bye week like? Did you take a vacation or something?
I ain't even watched anything. You think I watch football? We on the bye week. I don't need to. I don't need to do that. The Rams cheated. Um, the Bills just barely scraped by with a win, and I don't know how.
Go Chargers, go!
Let's see what else happened. What else happened?
Go Chargers, go!
I did watch I did watch a little bit of the Texans Cowboys game. That
Crazy game.
I could have gone without watching that game. Um, and the Eagles destroyed the Giants. So that
And all I gotta say for the Finney fans out there, go Chargers, go!
and Tampa Tom is broken. How you gonna lose 35-7?
And I think he lost by that much in the first half. Yeah, rough day, rough day. Um, yeah, it was kind of cool because we started out with Thursday with Baker's game-winning drive, which was a lot of fun, um, which was a lot of fun to see, and then like I've been talking about over the past couple of weeks, I think the AFC is really wide open right now. I think there's no true dominant team. I think the Bills are kind of at their peak in a way. Um, like they're gonna have some mistakes, but they have the ability to be a really good offense with a really good defense, holding everything down when things break. The Bengals look like they're probably right where they want to be right now. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the playoffs play out because there's so many scenarios where teams get in. Like even like the Raiders, the season's not over for the Raiders. The season's not over for the Raiders. Uh,
Raider Red
right,
baby.
right at this moment. So it's kind of interesting because the Raiders could get in. The Chargers are in right now, but everybody knows they're not good. Like the funny part about this is one of the really good teams in either the Dolphins or the Chargers are probably not going to make the playoffs. And I'm honestly a little curious to see what happens if the Chargers don't. Just for curiosity's sake, for Brandon Staley and Justin Herbert, and to see what I'm sure they won't go in some sort of crazy different direction, but it'll be interesting to see what they do to kind of combat that. And it might just be getting a new coach and going on from there. But should be interesting though. The Titans look very pedestrian right now for a team who was practically close to the top of the AFC for a while. So I think the Eagles still look good. It's interesting because like the Cowboys are one of those teams that they look good. It seems except for last week, but they look good week to week. But they're the Cowboys, so do you really expect anything? Whereas like on the other side, like the Chiefs don't have to look that great, but they're the Chiefs, so you're gonna, you know, still gonna give them the benefit of the doubt when the playoffs come. But uh, let's hop into week 15. Let's hop into week 15 and see what exactly we got on the schedule. Thursday night football. Um, Starting out with the 49ers at the Seahawks. I'm gonna go with the 49ers. The 49ers are like the most surprising team, I think, right now. They're down their top two quarterbacks, and they're still finding ways to win, which I think is a testament to how good Kyle Shanahan really is. It'll be interesting to see how long this Brock Purdy thing lasts. He's such an easy guy to root for, though, because he was like Mr. Irrelevant, but he's also at the same time like he's showing some good skills that possibly with a good coach he could be pretty good. But you never know, could be a one hit wonder too at the same time. So you never know. But I'm gonna go with the Niners. Casey, you got Niners or Seahawks?
I feel like these are two teams that I never want to pick. And then the NFL's like, haha, we're gonna put them in a game together, so you have to. I guess I'll go with the Niners. I don't really care either way, but yeah, Niners.
Okay. Let's see. Moving on to Saturday games, which is interesting. Which in a weird turn of events, this is what happens when you get close to playoff football. Starting at 1:00 on NFL Network, the Colts at the Vikings. Casey, how fun! I think the Vikings sweep the floor with the Colts and don't look back because this is going to be the one time the Colts can get a decent pick. So I think they're gonna push for that. Vikings win. Casey, who you got? Colts or Minnesotas? I know it's hard for you to pick against the Minnesotas. I know.
No, I'm just looking at our record, and I don't remember it being that bad. I swore we had more wins than just 4. Like, bruh.
I don't know what happened, Casey, but it's been rough.
Bruh. I'm going with the Minnesotas.
He going with the mini finnies. All right. Okay. Moving on to the Ravens at
Browns
the Browns
all day. Browns for 38,000 to 0.
It is interesting though watching the Browns right now because they just look weird. Because this is where a lot of people probably overreact and be like they shouldn't have paid Deshaun and put Jacoby back in, blah blah blah. And I think even Adam has mentioned depending on what you do, it might be nice to shut Deshaun down just to kind of like not end up with any sort of crazy or freak injury or anything going into next season. But very interesting right now because they, like I was talking about before, especially the bottom of the AFC is still wide open too, like with those bottom 3 wild card spots. So like the non-division winners, so I still think the Browns is going to take them a couple of weeks. I think it's going to take them a couple of weeks to just get back into form. I think this could be a game where they kind of round into form a little bit. Just because it's a rivalry game, you kind of like you get ready for this one. So I think it's kind of interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, but the Ravens should take care of business on this one. But albeit, I don't even know who's playing quarterback right now. To be honest with you, I really don't. I don't know who's playing quarterback for the Ravens right now because I haven't gotten an update on Tyler Huntley yet. But considering it's a Saturday game, it could be the other way around. But yeah, of course I'm going with the Ravens, but I think it could be a tight game, especially considering the quarterback situation right now. Adam, who you got?
Really? You're not gonna. Neither of you are gonna say anything. Neither of you gonna say anything.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I thought brothers shared everything.
I thought you had so much work to do.
He literally came on here to showcase his name.
You are very perceptive. I have a little bit of time. But I just because I just went into the live because I wanted to hear what monstrosity you were spewing on the listeners. At this point with Deshaun, really at this point, you just let him sling it, let him throw it around the yard. That see what kind of personnel that you're going to be looking into next year. Obviously, don't just obnoxiously just put him in harm's way. I'm not saying that. Says the man. You not been in here since September, bruh. For God's sakes. No, anyway, but because we honestly thought that I say we the Browns thought I think that Anthony Schwartz was going to be the guy that would help create space for Donovan, for Njoku, for Amari Cooper, and he just has not been it. I mean, thank you for the end around touchdown against the Bucks, but like that has literally been like one of two stats all year. So this offseason, they have to get a dude at wide receiver. Hell,
that would be nice if organizations, built around their quarterbacks. But wait, that's just Baltimore. They don't do that. Oh, okay, sorry.
The Baltimore Ravens have not scored a touchdown from a receiver in 10 games.
I mean, who you throwing to? I mean, they might as well put.
You got that fullback. You put some respect on that fullback.
Drewski, we're not throwing the ball to Drewski. White Drewski. Not happening. Actually, yes, we will throw the ball to White Drewski because he's the only one running routes out there. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. But yeah, apparently Saturday it's supposed to be shite weather, but hey, it's late December. They have to expect that at some point. Now, so yeah, I want them to let Deshaun sling it around the yard. I don't care if it's 45 times a game. Still run the ball, but they don't need to run Nick Chubb into the ground at this point. All of the remaining 4 games, despite they're technically not out of the playoff picture, but it's obviously highly, highly, highly unlikely. I would love to play spoiler for a couple of these yahoos. Well, maybe if picks actually matter. So this show don't mean nothing to you, sir? Is that what you're saying? Or you want another football podcast?
He's on every other podcast.
Face palm emoji. Just again, insert name here. So yeah, so I mean, they just gotta they can still conceivably, go 3-1 or even win out because this is going to be the last tough defense for them going forward, with maybe the exception of the commies. But yeah, they've gotta have this has got to be a bounce back game from letting the first game against the Ravens slip away. So just rip ass, fucking let them sling it around the yard. Let DPJ, run some go routes. I'm devastated that our linebacking core is now just gutted.
Justin, you would lose all of your money. That's the issue I'm having here.
You know what? Let's do it. I have no problem with Justin losing all his money.
And you see why I said even let's just play with that a little bit. Again, I would like to pick the games against the spread minus picking our teams, because again we would go against conventional wisdom anyway. We're picking our teams, even if they were massive underdogs, or if they were heavy favorites. We're obviously picking them no matter what. But anyway,
sir, I did not pick my team.
Which one?
Shut up.
I'm picking the spread for the combined totals of each game.
Let's move on to the last Saturday game, the Dolphins at the Bills.
Bills.
On NFL Network. Is Tua playing? I heard Tua was hurt.
I don't know. I don't know. They're
I mean,
being,
it is.
they're
This
being
is the
weird
Bills.
again.
Yeah, this is the Bills' like revenge game against the Dolphins. They probably shouldn't have lost the first one, but if their clock management could have been any worse, I would
mean,
have
I think it's
falsified my
I think
time
it's
at
gonna
work.
I think it's gonna be a blowout because they brought back Cole Beasley.
Oh, yeah, a blowout in the Dolphins' favor.
Wait, what?
Beasley came out of retirement.
Casey picks him up, and
So
and
not
sends
only is he
him on
catching footballs, he's also catching COVID. Okay, never mind.
Well, guess what? He's still on my bench, bitch.
there.
That is not your slogan.
I don't know. I feel like this could go either way because I think the Dolphins are good enough to beat the Bills, and the Bills are good enough to beat themselves, and make some sort of dumb mistake to cost themselves the game like they did the first time. But I think they'll play smarter this time, especially at home. But they've lost some weird games at home too, because then they lose to like the Saints or something at home or something. I
No,
can't remember.
it was the Jets, and but also
Yeah.
keep in mind they are still 10-3.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, but that's the thing too. Like they have a really good defense. They have a good offense. Don't get me wrong, but their defense is good enough to save the day if they need to too. Like either unit can save the day, for the Bills in whatever way they need to.
Unit.
But
Bills.
I'm gonna go with the.
We know.
With the Bills.
But
because like
oh,
another thing is the Dolphins have the tiebreaker over the Ravens. So if the Ravens for some reason drop another game, I got to be considering that. So I'm gonna go with the Bills, even though this game could go either way. The Bills could literally not show up too. But.
Seems the turntables.
I mean, the Bills got tiebreaker over us too, so it doesn't really matter if they do lose; they're still ahead of us.
Yes.
So, I'm and the Jets are too far behind.
Well, here's the thing. I would love to be in your position, score like 12 points in the last 4 weeks, and still win every game.
I mean, that's just the luck of the
Real
last
quick
play schedule a little bit too.
Real quick, honest question: the Browns and the Bengals game. Did you mind the 4th down call?
I didn't see it. Fill me in.
It was their opening drive. They stop the Bengals on a 3 and out. Boom, they get the ball right away and they march down the field. It's fourth and 1 basically. Jacoby comes in. Everybody thinks sneak. They run a play action. He has Donovan Peoples-Jones wide open in the end zone, and he airmailed it.
I mean, considering the play concept worked, and if he just hit the throw, they always say like, history is written by the winners or whatever, right? Like that's the whole cliche. And if you convert that, nobody's batting an eye, and momentum's completely different in that game than what it turned out to be. So I don't mind it.
Yeah, and
especially not that early in the game, because I mean, you're chasing points? Like you had the perfect.
They had the perfect call. It was the perfect play call. It was just, and they say, like, well, Jacoby wasn't in rhythm. Like, no, he's just got to drop it in a bucket. I mean, Donovan had the corner beat. It was a perfect play. He just airmailed it. But yes, it's automatic. It's easy to just automatically say, well, you either should have just kicked the field goal, or if you were going to do anything, just sneak it or run the ball or whatever. I'm like, yes, it's easy to do that, but like again, conventional wisdom says, yeah, you probably should just kick the field goal, but that wasn't Joe's best game. But they're probably still banking on like he's probably gonna get his plays. he's probably, they're probably going to be scoring. They probably thinking that they got a match. So yeah, I thought it was fine. It's uh, it's easy to say like oh they should have kicked the field goal there. I'd have been fine if they kicked the field goal there.
Yeah.
It does something to the psyche, but I'm just like, you hit on that play, no one's making a peep.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. And it's funny because I was talking to Casey earlier too about like the AFC and how wide open it is, and like it's crazy to think like a really good team is not going to make the playoffs. Whether I think honestly, I think the Bengals end up making the playoffs regardless, because I just don't see them losing enough games to catch up with any of the last place teams. But it's just so interesting because you got the right now the Patriots are in over the Chargers and the Jets, and I think we could all say that the Chargers and the Jets are probably better teams than the Patriots right now. Jacksonville's still somehow in it. The Raiders are still somehow in it. Of course, the Browns.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting though. Like a really good team is not going to make it for like the Patriots.
Yeah, well, even then, like they're winning on their defense.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
again,
because like if the Chargers
Mac
don't make the
Jones,
playoffs again, I'm going to laugh my entire behind off.
and then Sean Payton says, hello, when can I move?
Yeah, so be interesting to see. But moving on to Sunday games, the Falcons at the Saints. I don't really know or care. The Falcons, I guess.
That's what I went with.
Saints.
Justin went with Buffalo.
Are they actually going to play Jameis?
Probably not.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
He's healthy. He's got to be better than Dalton, for God's sakes.
You think so, but you see how they're handling it. But so nobody picked the Saints. Anybody?
I believe Casey picked the Saints.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Okay. Bold man. The Steelers at the Panthers.
Panthers.
Considering the way the Panthers are playing right now, oddly enough, I'd say the Panthers. Adam says the Panthers. Casey, who you got?
Panthers.
Oh, I was gonna ask y'all too. What do y'all think of Cam Newton saying he's better than the entire NFC? Okay, most of the NFC South quarterbacks. Did y'all hear that?
I
didn't hear
laugh.
I mean,
I didn't hear that, but that's special.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily disagree. Not all of them. Like, is he better than Brady? Like would I take Brady right now? The way Brady's playing, I don't know if I take Brady right now. But I mean, who's in that division? Brady, Dalton, Jameis sometimes, Taysom Hill
Brady,
sometimes.
Dalton, yeah.
Whoever the
Sam
Panthers want to
Darnold.
start today,
Sam
PJ
Darnold.
Walker.
Darnold's playing okay though.
I'm missing a quarterback though. Who is it? Who else?
It's not Mariota. They shut him down for the year, and he left the team. So, and it's that Desmond Ritter that they got from in the.
And I mean, considering the quarterbacks we just named off, my thing is, if you give Cam an actual offseason, we haven't seen Cam with an actual offseason with a team in 4 years. Like,
well,
I mean,
the conventional wisdom again, like just easy answer. If you ask me if I want Brady or Cam, I'm taking Brady.
I mean, considering how Brady's played, I would almost take Cam, but I'm not saying take Cam middle of the season. I'm saying like the smarter move would have been. Because, like, if you think about it, when he joined the Patriots like a couple weeks before the season. When he joined the Panthers like middle of the season. So like any of that playbook stuff, he's not going to know. He doesn't know he probably didn't even know the offense by the time he was not, signed by the Panthers anymore. So I don't know. Well, like I'm not saying he gets a job tomorrow, but I mean, well, Deshaun got a job off a podcast, so same one. So.
Well, let's also remember this too. Like Brady's ailments, but like he's airmailing these guys, but it's not like Breeze where he had to throw it high, or it's not like Cam. Well, that which is my ultimate point too. Is like Cam doesn't have the zip on his passes anymore. Like he could still run, he could still get you some chunk yardage, whatever. But like the game the Bucks had against the Saints a few weeks ago, like that's what Brady can still do.
Yeah.
Even though he cannot hit Mike Evans at all
Well,
anymore,
and that's what
for
I was
whatever
saying.
reason.
Like that's what I was saying too about like the Chiefs. So, like I wouldn't even say the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC because I think it's a freaking toss up. There's so much talent in the AFC, but at the same time, who's been there? Who's done that? It ain't Buffalo. It ain't Miami. It's Kansas City, right? Like it's Kansas City.
Yep.
So you trust Kansas City a little bit more. Same thing when I had sent y'all that video of I can't remember who it was. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he was talking about how the Bucks are going to get in at whatever and 9 and 4 and 9. I don't even remember what he said, but they're going to get in at like 4 and 9 or something, and then go to the Super Bowl because Tom Brady's just going to turn it on or something.
Oh,
Nick
Peter
Wright.
King.
Nick Wright.
Was it Nick Wright? I thought
it
it
was Nick Wright. It was Nick Wright with the hair. Remember, he got the
Well,
hair.
I was gonna say, Nick, cut the hair, please, cut the hair.
But it was interesting though because why do people believe that? Because Tom's done it multiple more times than you can count, but because they've been there and done that, right? You trust them a little more than you trust, for example, the Eagles, even though the Eagles are probably by far and away the best team in the NFC. But you think Brady can't pull out one game against the Eagles? Possibly, right? They always say playoff football is a little different than playoff football is a little different than regular season football, which is true. But well, like I said, we'll see how it goes. Because like I said, that was the funny part about it. Like I'm like, a good team's going to be out of it in the AFC.
Right.
Like I don't know who it's going to be, but there's going to be a good team that's going to be not making it in the AFC.
Yeah, like the Broncos.
and that's another thing too. Like the AFC West has been such a disappointment that a lot of those teams are supposed to be vying for those spots a little bit more comfortably than they are right now. It's just it's crazy, but moving on. I think we're on the Eagles at the Bears.
Next.
Anybody picking the Bears, including you, Casey? Okay. I heard the Eagles, but anyway.
No, I heard.
Then we got the Chiefs at the Texans. Consider how the Texans played last week. This is, really, I guess technically the last couple of weeks, but especially last week because I don't know what made them decide to show up last week against I guess it was the Texas Bowl or whatever. But I think the Chiefs by the Chiefs by a lot. Anybody picking the Texans?
Nope.
All right. The Cowboys at the Jaguars. Does anybody want to go with the Jaguars? Probably one of those weird games they would win, but all right. The Lions at the Jets.
Lions, baby.
I think the Jets win this one. I think because the Jets are playing for their playoff lives, I think Mike White is playing pretty well. He's doing his job. He's not losing them games per se. I don't think.
He did throw a pick at the end of the game against the Vikings.
It's true, but anyway,
they're obviously playing for him. But again, like he's a backup for a reason.
Do they even truly have a starter at this point?
No, they do not. No, they do not.
The Cardinals at the Broncos. And you talk about it's not even fitting. It's just like, I'm just going to say an unfortunate end to a disappointing season for the Cardinals last week.
And I love every second for it. In the words of a famous TikToker, I love this for them.
It's just
Broncos,
it's just crazy. Like and you know that was the thing. I don't want Kyler. I'm upset that Kyler got paid before Lamar. Which I want to believe that Kyler's probably missed more games than Lamar has in his career. But anyway, it's just it's crazy. You know, because I do have a little resentment because he got paid before Lamar. That's not Kyler's fault. That's more so the Cardinals' fault. But I mean, what have they done since they? What have they done? Period. But what have they done since they paid him? No, they got a 4-9 season out of it.
They got a. I was going to say they got a 4-9 season. They have an incompetent coach, and they have a whiny bitch that just got hurt. And I hate to say that, whatever though, but he did this to himself.
It's crazy. It's crazy though too because you know they're gonna have to either they kind of went all in, right? Like they kind of went all in on this Kyler experiment and whatever you want to call it, really.
They got Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. That's what I was saying. They went all in on this. They got DeAndre Hopkins for him. They got Zach Ertz for him. They got and I'm missing people because they got a lot of talent for him. Yeah, Robbie Anderson, of course, Hollywood. They got, which was a college teammate of his. Like they got everybody possible. James Conner, who's been good for them. And it's just crazy to think that they have underachieved so much with all the talent they have. Because here's the thing: I think DeAndre Hopkins is a free agent next year, and I think he wants out.
Why wouldn't he at this point? Why wouldn't he?
They have to choose whether or not they want to re-sign Hollywood, because Hollywood is next year, I think. Would be coming up on his 5th year option, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was going to say it'd be coming up on the 5th.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's another thing. And of course, AJ Green ain't getting no younger. I mean, they got him AJ Green too. Like you can say what you wanted to about AJ Green, but I mean, still, he poses a threat in some form or fashion. Maybe not the threat he was, in his prime, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all, considering the wide receiving talent that the Ravens have right now, I would have took an AJ Green over that, just to have a guy who's been a guy before. But I mean, this is the Broncos probably without Russell Wilson versus the Cardinals without Kyler Murray. Like, who cares at this point? If it comes down to the rest of the guys, I guess I go Broncos. Maybe, I don't know. Dang it. Baltimore, why couldn't you save Jerry Jeudy from that horrible situation he is in Baltimore in Denver? But Cardinals or Broncos, Casey? Casey probably literally just was like, "This game is so terrible, I will never." You know what's funny though? While we wait on Casey to come back, what's funny is they were talking about the grass. They were talking about the grass. They were talking about the grass, and they literally used my description of how they roll it out. I think it was Pat McAfee who was talking about it. He was talking about how they roll it out and they grow it under the Arizona sun, and then I'm about to add that part in there. They grow it under the Arizona sun and they roll it back in. It's real grass, I just thought that was funny, but I almost started to send that video to y'all so y'all could understand that I was right about this.
Still doesn't make a lick of fucking sense, but that's besides the point.
Come on, just hit me. You roll it outside. You let that Arizona sun hit it just right, and then you let it grow. You put a little fertilizer in it. You bring the cows in. They bring official NFL cows in. They bring them in. They let them poop on there, and then they let it grow. They let it grow, and then they roll that joint back in. And then you got real grass. You got real grass that was from outside in the arena, and no one would ever know. But anyway, Casey, do you want the Cardinals or the Broncos this week?
I want more description on the grass. I don't fully comprehend how this works. Can you explain it to me? How does it?
I have done the splaining. I've done the splaining.
No, I need more details on the landing, please.
Adam, who you got? Because Casey ain't gonna pick this game. He gonna want me to explain.
I'm going with a tie because neither team deserves to play this week. And by the way, that none of that shit still didn't make a lick of sense.
You saw the video. They take the grass, they roll it out, they let the sun hit it, they bring it back in, and they play on it.
I saw the video. I saw the video. I saw the video. I still don't get it.
They roll it up. They turn that some bitch sideways. Oh wait, no.
So the Rock made the grass?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It was endorsed by the Rock. The Patriots at the Raiders. The Patriots, I guess, because the Raiders are I mean, they're not the most talented 5-8 team I've ever seen, but okay, maybe they are the most talented.
I'll put that to the test because I believe the neutral field the Browns beat them. So they roll the grass out.
Yeah.
And then the sunlight hit it.
Yeah, it's a true home field advantage right there.
And they bring in the cows?
They bring in the cows for the manure. You got to fertilize that grass because it ain't good grass.
Do they have cows out there?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Because why wouldn't they call the Arizona cows? Because a Cardinal ain't got nothing to do with Arizona. Let's be honest. Cardinals are like, ooh, it's too hot out here.
Didn't they used to be the St. Louis Cardinals back in the day?
I believe. Was it Chicago?
I think originally it was Chicago.
Yeah, I want to say
But that was before they had the grass. Anyway,
but the bears come out, they defecate on the grass, and then they mush around, and then they go into that hibernation phase.
You know what the
underneath
Bears,
the field.
The Bears, they roll the grass outside, they let it snow a little bit, then they roll it back in. Yeah, the Patriots gonna beat the Raiders because the Raiders are terrible. Worst talented team I've ever seen in my life, besides the Cardinals.
I would say the Cardinals are worse.
And the Chargers sometimes. It's just weird. Anyway.
By the way, thank you. Speaking of the Raiders, thank you for having terrible clock mismanagement and terrible defense of letting Baker getting a 98-yard game-winning drive. By the way,
incredible.
I will say, as much as I love Baker, there's a couple of those penalties on the Raiders I thought were a little sus, but I'll take it. By the way, other than Van Jefferson, I had no idea who half those receivers were. And has anybody done themselves more of a disservice than Baker Mayfield by headbutting individuals without a helmet on?
Oh yeah.
He is turning himself into Goldberg. From the University of CTE.
Casey, are you picking the Raiders over the Patriots? I'm sure you are.
Yeah, fool.
I'm just making sure. You might pick the Patriots this week. I don't know.
Never.
Your team's kind of sus this year. All of them except for the Dolphins.
Kind of a bitch this year.
Except for the Dolphins. The Dolphins would be sus if they didn't have Tyreek. I'm just saying.
Dolphins going
all the way. They're a little sus right now.
They're going all the way.
Well, that's because people are figuring out what Tua can and can't do.
They're going all the way to the Super Bowl.
Which is a lot of things.
Like
all the way to the offseason.
I like Tua a lot. But Tyreek Hill's 2,000-yard season that he's about to have is bailing him out far too often. Which is good. That's what receivers do. That's the whole point of signing the best receivers you can. But
boy, that boy fast. You see that shit?
He is fast. Yeah, he can literally.
He run on the grass. He flattens out the grass, so it makes it easier for the players to run on.
See, but what I like about Tyreek too is like he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he'll try to go up with you and if you just throw it up for grabs, he's gonna bail you out. Like
Yes.
considering. Like that's the crazy part about it.
Yes.
You know, but the Titans at the Chargers.
Go Chargers, go.
The crazy part about this that I'm thinking about. I know the Jags are left, but aren't they like 5-8 or something?
The
I'm
Jags.
thinking about who's left in this division. Like
Oh.
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, the Titans are the Titans, but like the Titans are going to win this division by default.
Petty theft. I always say it, petty theft.
They're going to win this division by default, but I kind of want them to beat the Chargers just because. I just do. I want the Chargers to suck. I really do.
I again, and I hate saying this, whatever. I'm off the bandwagon personally of the Chargers, but I also want the Jags to be miserable because that city does not deserve a football team.
I'm going with the Titans. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with the Titans.
Tighten up, baby.
I'm gonna go with the Titans. It's just interesting. It's so crazy. Like that the Chargers can miss the playoffs again. How? You have all of that talent, and I know some of it's Brandon Staley, but some of it's got to be the players at this point too. Like, let's just be honest about this.
Well, I think it's a combination of Staley and the offensive coordinator because even despite not having Allen and Mike Williams, you mean to tell me you still can't conjure up a game plan to where Herbert can just sling it and still make these guys look good?
Yeah.
I mean, you still got Eckler.
Yeah.
Still got Everett, who's a I think a damn good tight end. So it's just something was
Eckler's a running back.
Well, he's a running back. He's a receiver disguised as a running back.
And I mean,
look at it, he gives me.
He's part of the bald crew that is the Chargers receiving core.
like for real. But I have Eckler in one of my leagues. Each week it'll say receptions, 46, but he gives me like 25 points because he's a red zone machine.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. Casey, who you got? Titans or Chargers? Is it tighten up or is it go Chargers?
Go.
Are you really asking me this?
Yes.
You asking me this question that you know the answer to.
Making statements. Assuming?
I mean, it's obvious.
Go Chargers, go! Go Chargers, go!
Sometimes we just tee it up, and I don't even mind that it's an easy, just out of the park.
But what about this random play from Ravens and Browns history that Justin brought up that wasn't relevant to anything?
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything.
What's the play?
Do you remember that week on the podcast though, where we were talking about a play and
I think they're going to get offensive pass interference.
They are 2 flags at the 10.
They go on Amari Cooper of Cleveland.
That was just before the field goal attempt with all that gaga with the right side of the Ravens moving and the left side of the Browns moving, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was called a pass interference on Cooper. And
that's right. Because that was the play you were looking for. And Justin brought out, I think, a blocked field goal from like 2009. Do you remember that?
Yes, but because I was bitter that week. I said, look, full caveat. Should not have put ourselves in the position that we did. Jacoby, you can't fumble the ball. I gave out all these outs, if you will. I get it. This did not. It took away the inevitable chance that we were going to have with that false start. because I said, like, I've watched that thing 1,000 times. We even played the clip on the show too. I'm like, you cannot tell me that should have been a call, a offsides on the Ravens, because the guys on the right moved and Michael Dunn moved his leg.
That's how long this darn season has been. I barely even remember that game.
That was week 7. That was either week 6 or week 7. I'm pretty sure it was week 7, because originally that was when Deshaun was supposed to come back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because, and this is the other, I don't want to relitigate all that nonsense, but that's been the most frustrating part of the season for Cleveland. Is, again, nobody thought that we were going to score enough points, and Jacoby was going to be fine. Like, he was going to march on and try his damnedest. But he actually became like a top 12, top 10 QB in terms of QBR and all that stuff. Like, he didn't throw up like spectacular numbers, but just in terms of what people thought he was going to be, he exceeded that. We were scoring points. And just the defense just like, no pun intended, dropped the ball.
And that's what I was, kind of mentioning a while back too. Is like, people talk about these yards and how many yards people put up and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, but are they scoring though?
That's the
Like,
point.
are they scoring? Are they winning? Like that's all that really matters. It doesn't matter, like, because like, and it's funny going back to the Cam conversation, because Cam was talking about how like quarterbacks are looked at differently. Like a lot of times the guys who rush for a lot of yards aren't necessarily given the respect of the guys who pass for a lot of yards, even though they can score the same amount of touchdowns or they can move the ball for the same amount of yards. And it was just he had an interesting conversation. They haven't posted the whole video, I don't think, but it was just interesting because like, I think especially me, having a mobile quarterback on my roster, I kind of understand the weird like criticism of it, that like, oh, you can't necessarily, your running doesn't count into your total of yards because it's always just been passing yards based. But
and especially like Donovan Peoples-Jones is going to sniff or get past 1,000 yards this year, and he's going to have maybe 3 touchdowns for the season. I mean, he's got 1 passing touchdown and a special teams touchdown. That's not indicative of him as a player. He's obviously producing, but people are going to look at those touchdown numbers. I'm just mad because I still feel that the NFL gave the Browns a disservice for going against their policy that they said they were not going to go against. They picked that judge. They said, like, whatever she says, that's going to be the final say, and they got such blowback for it's got to be a year. It's got to be a year. But, well, Mike, if you guys were going to do what you wanted to do anyway, why didn't you just say a year in February?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Moving on to the last 4-25 game, the Bengals at the Buccaneers.
But
I'm
willing it into existence. But
isn't this one of those games though for the Bengals? Like one of those games that they should definitely win, but for whatever reason they'll just find a way to cough up. This is one of those weird games where the Bucs defense will just show out and somehow the Bucs will win this game. I'm not going to put money on it or anything like that, but
I think this will still be a slog like last week because no Higgins, possibly no Higgins, no Boyd for sure. I don't know how Hayden Hurst is going to be. No Hendrickson for the rest of the year, or at least for the regular season, broken hand. And Mixon, unpopular opinion, Mixon is not that good.
Oh, stop it.
They're getting more out of Pirine than Mixon.
Mixon's like,
one game. Mixon's one game.
Though. Like Pirine, for whatever reason, I don't remember him doing anything with, I think Seattle, I think is who he was on before. But like for some reason with the Bengals, he just torches people, and I don't freaking understand it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like Mixon's one game this year was that 5 touchdown games against the Panthers when they were uber bad. But like to me, Mixon gets in those spats where he gets a bad attitude where he's not getting the carries, he's not getting the targets, whatever. Though, and then like to me, he has the boo boo face. I don't know. That's just me. It's not even being a Bengal hater. It's just that I think B-Ry's better.
I mean, for the record, the Bengals deserve the hate. Their players are cocky, their fans are cocky, and they've won a great Super Bowl last year. If the participation was the award, so yeah. I hope the Bucs win this game. Casey, who you got? Bengals or Buccaneers? Tampa Tom.
I'm going with Tampa Tom.
Attaboy.
Speaking of petty theft, with the Buccaneers with the Buccaneers potentially winning the NFC South.
No, that's why I want the Panthers to win. They could backdoor their way into the playoffs, and my preseason prediction will come true.
Imagine the Panthers backdooring their way into the playoffs and playing like the Giants or something and winning.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. The Giants have been figured out. Again, because sometimes the inevitable is just going to happen. Daniel Jones sucks.
So, and here's my thing: like, imagine like as good as the Seahawks have played from time to time this season, not consistently from time to time. Imagine them not making the playoffs.
Oh, I'd love it. I would love every second of it. That way, all the Pete Carroll love will go down the toilet.
I would love to see the Lions get in. The Packers would be like a sneaky one. They wouldn't do anything in the playoffs, but they would be a sneaky get in. they literally would do nothing when they got there, but it would be, be interesting. Might be the only team with a worse offense than the Ravens right now. But anyway, let's see. Casey, you picked Tampa Tom?
Tampa Tom.
All right. The NFC East, the NFC East though. It's interesting too, like with the Cowboys, because they're 10-3, but they can drop 2 games like it's nothing. And it'll be interesting to see, like with the Commanders and the Giants, who have that dumb, ridiculous tie that's going to keep one of them out of the playoffs, like idiots.
I see.
It's going to get one of them in, and they keep one of them out. It's what's going to happen. But I think in this one, I think the Commanders are going to win. The Commanders are just a better team. They're the better team when it comes to the Commanders versus the Giants. They're just the better team. I was going to say the Giants are probably better coached, but I don't know. This is just a weird game.
They're better coached than they did before, but just in terms of right now, I think they're starting to realize the Saquon's hurt. Big shock. Saquon's hurt, and I think that they don't have a threat on the outside.
Yeah.
And so no, I'm going with the commies, but in an objective sense. Now, selfishly, and just because I want the chaos, I want another tie, just to see people's brains fry.
Just very, very interesting 2 teams right there. Casey, who you got? The Giants or the Commanders?
They're the commies, and let's go Commando.
All right.
Speaking of Justin's,
Monday Night Football. It just gets worse and worse. Monday Night Football, the Rams at the Packers. Could they not flex this out? Like does ESPN have no say?
No, they don't. Buck and Aikman, here you go. Here you go, buddies. And by the way,
ESPN executives should be like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now?"
Which, by the way, ram it. Ram it. Come on, Bake. I can't quit you.
I think the Rams are gonna win this one too. I don't. What are the Packers even doing right now? Who's playing for them? Is Aaron Rodgers still hurt? What is happening?
I don't know.
Because they just came off a bye, right? That's why it
Yeah,
feels
they
like
had
I
a
haven't
bye.
seen them in 3
It
years.
was a good ayahuasca week for Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Goodness. Yeah, I'm going with the Rams. KC, Rams or Packers?
Rams, I guess.
Which is exactly what I believe you just described Buck and Aikman's pregame production meeting. Because what do you guys think is going to be? The Rams? A little higher register? The Packers aren't very oozy right now. So, I mean.
Well, I guess that'll do it. That'll do it for the show. Definitely hope you guys enjoyed the picks for tonight. We'll be back with
Because
something
we
else.
certainly did not.
No. But we'll see you guys on the next one. Definitely hope you guys enjoyed. For DJ, which is me, for Adam, which is Adam, for Casey, which is Casey, and for Justin, who is not here like always. Until next time.
Bitch.